I returned to Bath & Body Works recently and had another crazy experience in which my cousin and I became heroes. So first of all, I must once again sincerely apologize for the hastiness and roughness and lack of significant editing in this vlog. I know it's been that way for the past several weeks, and I keep talking about how it's that way, and it probably gets annoying to hear me talking about it over and over again and to see it happening over and over again. But just the holiday craziness and finals preparation and final projects and papers at college have all been making me, unfortunately, very short on time lately. And I wish I had all the time to devote to perfecting every little moment and bit of these vlogs, but lately I have not, sadly. And I promise they will be back to normal soon. I made that promise last week, and I will hold to that promise, really. But for now, I just want to thank you, all of you who are watching, the vlog viewers currently, for sticking with me through all of this, and staying with me during a busy time when I don't have quite as much time to devote to the vlog, which saddens me. Thanks for being there, and blessings upon you for all you do, and for watching. Really, it means a lot to me, so thanks. Now, a few weeks back, for those of you who have been watching my more recent vlogs, I visited a Bath & Body Works with some friends, and had a heck of an experience, I'll tell you. I coined the phrase, a sniff of fall, I analyzed the name of a particular lotion scent, vigorously, and I participated in a group photo taken by a B&BW employee, which was really something, really a crazy experience. So the other day, I happened to pop into another location of the same store, this one back home, closer to where I live, with my mom, my aunt, and my cousin. Again, it was a wild time. I mean, that's all that can be said. Actually, that's not all that can be said. Allow me to elaborate. So, while there, I coined the phrase, a whiff of winter. Really proud of that one. I ran into an old high school friend whom I introduced to my cousin, and he held out his hand to shake her hand, but she didn't see his hand, and then he had to awkwardly lower his hand after holding it out for a while, and it was uncomfortable. But I don't think she noticed any of it, so probably okay. Just, it was uncomfortable for the two of us. Anyway, I also shared a truly character-defining moment with my cousin in the store, Bath & Body Works. Really tested us, tested our mettle. So let me explain that. We were standing in the store, and this is right after the awkward introduction to my friend. So we were rehashing the slightly bumpy interaction with her, and then suddenly the cardboard shelf next to us, full of Bath & Body Works, you know, lotions and potions and soaps and whatnot, and candles, they have candles too, that's important, starts to fall over. And we had no way of expecting this. Someone must have bumped into it, I don't know, it wasn't one of us, it just, this thing is timbering upon us. And somehow my cousin and I just leap into action, just instantly. I don't know how we were ready for this. It's like we were training for this moment. I don't think I've ever reacted this quickly to anything in my life, maybe. And I don't think I've ever been more impressed by my own reflexes, so that was a cool feeling. But the shelf falls, and a bar of soap slips off of it. At the same time, a decorative snowman on top of the shelf, sitting on it, starts to slide off. And my cousin grabs the shelf with one hand and then catches the bar of soap in the other, just perfectly at the same time. And simultaneously, I just cradle the snowman like a newborn infant, just absorb the energy of his fall into my arms. Just take him in like this, like a little baby. And we don't even know how to react to this. It all happens so quickly. It's like watching a car wreck. Like, you can't look away, and it's just over like that. And everything stops moving. My cousin and I pause for a second and look at each other and lock eyes. And then we just take in the full weight of the miracle we have just performed. I mean, just astounding to both of us that happened and we were able to handle it. And meanwhile, nobody else in the store notices any of this. They're all just going about their business, buying early Christmas gifts, whatnot. But to us, it was incredible. Time stood still, really, it could be said. Then we start to laugh. We start to put things back in their place. We start to figure it out. You know, how did the shelf go together? Let's fix it. But I notice suddenly that the snowman I'm holding has only one button eye. The other one's missing. So of course I assume that it must have fallen off when he fell. And I search the floor, but I don't see anything. And I'm wondering if it was maybe missing before he fell. Maybe it was missing from earlier. It was just broken or something. Maybe it popped off during the fall, however, that's the other option, and it's just gone forever. It got some air, it flew somewhere, I don't know. But my cousin suddenly spots a penny lying on the floor and points to it and says, "Parker," just in that tone of voice, very urgent, very real. And he doesn't even have to say another word. I know exactly where his head's at, and I like where his head's at. The penny is just about the same size as the remaining button eye on the snowman that I caught. And so, of course, I pick it up and try to stick it on his face. Now, the snowman's made of some kind of styrofoam or light material, just these little balls stacked on top of each other, but it's covered in this white, fuzzy fuzz, I get. That's the best word for it, really. So the penny doesn't really stick in place, obviously. I don't really have any access to any sort of adhesive or anything. I mean, if I'd been smart, I would have borrowed some kind of lotion that was sticky or body scrub and use that to stick it on. Actually, I can't believe I didn't think of that. Now I'm disappointed I didn't think of that. That's genius. But I didn't. So, adrenaline was high at this point. I don't know all the thoughts that were racing through my head, but there were a lot of them. So I stick it on. It doesn't really stay in place, but instead it slides down the snowman's face, and it settles in a particularly thick patch of fuzz on his cheek. And so I show it to my cousin, and it looks terrible. I mean, we have the button eye up here, and we have a penny that's clearly a penny, not at all matching this eye, other than just the size, on his lower cheek. Just incredibly not fitting with the rest of the snowman. And still, I just say, good enough, and then we basically set it back on the shelf and hope for the best. I mean, we did all we could, really. And I still think he looks good, it's okay, whereas if his eye is not in the traditional place for an eye, nothing wrong with that. So we set him on the shelf, we start to leave, and then we just pause for a moment, really just take in what just happened, because a lot just happened in the past minute, maybe, was how long it took for all these events to unfold. And I just say, I'm not certain, but I'm pretty sure we just became heroes. And indeed we did. Sort of. I continue to think that as we leave the store and can't stop laughing about what just happened. And I guess that's the lesson here. Sometimes an apparently imminent disaster will prompt you to act in some way. And oftentimes those unexpectedly tough situations, whether they involve rescuing a styrofoam snowman and, saving a store display, or something a little more serious, if there is anything more serious than that, I'm not sure. You tell me, Sometimes those situations will bring out your best and show you what you're really made of, And that can be both inspiring and reassuring. It's a really great feeling. So keep that in mind when those situations arise. Now, if you'll excuse me, actually, I have to go lead the first meeting of the Snowman Rescue Brigade. Sorry, excuse me. It's very new to me, so I don't have the pronunciation quite correct. The Snowman Rescue Brigade, which is a group that's recently formed, of which I have recently been named the president. So, proud of that, I guess you could say. Of course, I am the only member, but it's not important, whatever. I've got to get to the meeting, it's time. So, without further ado, hope you have a wonderful day, and go save a snowman. If there's one that needs saving. Not snaving. Save a snowman if one needs to be saved, and do good in the world when disasters arise, because you can, and you'll surprise yourself sometimes with what you're capable of. Thanks a lot. I'll catch you later.